is here. Now, broadcasting from the underground command post, deep in the bowels of a hidden bunker, somewhere under the brick and steel of a nondescript building, we've once again made contact with our leader, Mark Levin.
Hello, my friends. Mark Levin here. I was afraid of that. Yes, my little pup got nervous when I said that. Come here, you. Yes, it's Mark Levin. Our number, 877-381-3811. 877-381-3811. Now, folks, let me try this, and maybe the Republicans can learn. I've done this before. Let me do it again. Obama has targeted our senior citizens. He has. And he continues to target our senior citizens. The liberals run on Social Security and Medicare all the time. They don't want to reform them. They don't want to save them in a way where people who are currently on those programs will continue to get benefits because that's how they planned. People near retirement, near eligibility for either program would be protected. Ryan had set that out for Medicare. And then younger people could create their own investments or have other alternatives to Social Security and Medicare because they're going broke. There's simply no question about it. And yet, as serious as the financial problem is for Social Security and Medicare, according to their own trustees, in the case of Medicare, the chief actuary himself, Obama keeps draining resources from them. Obama runs around talking about a payroll tax cut that'll give everybody $1,000 in the middle class. What Obama doesn't tell you is that money's coming out of the Social Security Trust Fund, according to liberal doctrine that's been around for over 70 years. Obama wants to take money out of the Social Security Trust Fund, which he insists exists, which every Democrat in America insists exists, and they have since Franklin Roosevelt. They want to take money out of that trust fund, $1,000 a person, while the program's unsustainable. So that program's going to go broke faster than it already is. And I'm talking to you senior citizens or those of you who are about to retire specifically. While he's running around the country saying he wants to protect the middle class, which he's all but eviscerated in his redistributive mentality, he doesn't want to save the middle class. He wants to redistribute wealth. Those are two different things. Save the middle class by unleashing the economy. But I want to be as crystal clear as I know how. Obama is trying to raid the Social Security Trust Fund, which he says exists, which he says your payroll deductions have contributed to, and those of your employer if you have one. He wants to raid it of billions of dollars to give everybody a $1,000 so-called tax cut right before the election. What do you think of that? Now, this would be the same president who took $500 billion out of the Medicare program to fund this Obamacare monstrosity, to once again redistribute wealth, as Donald Berwick said, his exiting director of Medicare and Medicaid. So, the two programs that you seniors say are so important to you, Social Security and Medicare, this president is targeting. He's attacking them. He's already taken over a 10-year period under his law, $500 billion out of Medicare, and he's already taking tens of billions of dollars out of Social Security, and he's insisting on taking more. Now, folks, that is the argument that needs to be put to the left. Because they're insisting that Social Security is a trust fund, that your payroll deduction and that of your employer, if you have one, goes into your specific account. You get a mailing several times a year. in which the Social Security Administration specifically tells you how much money's in your account and what your benefits are as required by law passed by Congress. When you tell them there's no trust fund, they look at you cross-eyed and they try and hype it. So stick it to them. They're taking money out of the trust fund. They're taking money out of the accounts of people who are retired or soon to be retired to give a $1,000 cut. Right? And then in Medicare, which is already turning down people, or turning down different services and so forth, in Medicare, he's already taken $500 billion out of that over the next 10 years. So my point is, folks, this has nothing to do with the middle class. It has nothing to do with the working class. It has nothing to do with any class, because he has none. What Obama is doing is raiding the Social Security Trust Fund. He's raiding the Medicare trust funds to fund his massive utopian programs and to pretend that he's cutting taxes for the middle class. Isn't that clever? Well, not here. We don't allow it. Gotcha. Here he is with his Marxist rhetoric. Did I say Marxist rhetoric? Oh, yes, I did. Here he is in Washington, D.C. today. By the way, he's getting ready for a 17-day vacation in Hawaii where he doesn't want to work, he said. He wants minimal amount of work. 17 days in Hawaii. He spent 10 or 11 days in Martha's Vineyard not that long ago. He's played 88 rounds of golf. This is the laziest president in American history. Just by looking at his schedule, what he does during the day, when he gets up, when he goes to sleep, where he goes, it's absurd. He won't sit down with Republicans. He won't negotiate with anybody. He wants to defeat this Congress and win re-election by creating the very scenario he's running against. In other words, sabotage the process and then complain about the process. Let me repeat it. Sabotage the process and then complain about the process. And he thinks we're too stupid to see it. Like with this nonsense about the payroll cut. Payroll cut. He's raiding the Social Security Fund. I know this for sure because he says there's a Social Security Fund. Medicare, $500 billion he's taken out of there. Are you senior citizens not in the middle class? Here he is in D.C. today. Cut one, go.
Last week, virtually every Senate Republican voted against that tax cut.
Stop. Every Senate Republican voted against raiding the Social Security Trust Fund. Mitch McConnell, you listening to me? I'm helping you here. Go ahead.
Now, I know many Republicans have sworn an oath never to raise taxes as long as they live.
Stop. And I thought you Democrats swore an oath never to raid the Social Security Trust Fund as long as you live. Go.
It could be that the only time there's a catch is when it comes to raising taxes on middle-class families. How can you fight tooth and nail to protect high-end tax breaks for the wealthiest Americans and yet barely lift a finger to prevent taxes going up for 160 million Americans who really need the help?
Let's stop. Now, ladies and gentlemen, the president, I guess it was about a year ago, signed a law. He signed a law that he negotiated with the Republicans and the Democrats in Congress. And that law left in place current federal individual income tax rates, the same rates that have been in existence for about 10 years. And he said at the time, you don't raise taxes in the middle of a recession. He signed that law. So that law set in place the tax rates across the board that were reduced under the Bush administration. And they were reduced, as I said, across the board. Now, I see all these pseudo-conservative writers out there and pseudo-conservative commentators picking apart one conservative after another for their contradictory views or hypocritical views on this time or that time. Fine. Here we are in the middle of a battle with Obama, who's using Marxist rhetoric to demagogue these issues. And he said a year ago that you don't raise taxes in the middle of a recession. And now all he does is campaign on raising taxes on the so-called rich. A surtax. So what changed between now and 12 months ago? His campaign tactics. He's going full Marxist. That is, full Monty. I'm not done with this guy. I'll be right back.
Mark Levin.
So, ladies and gentlemen, we have established that Barack Obama is now seeking to raid the Social Security Trust Fund of tens of billions of dollars so he can have, in essence, campaign cash to dole out $1,000 per about to each and every one in America. Who works, I guess. Maybe who doesn't work. Amazing, isn't it? And you used to think liberals defended the Social Security Trust Fund. Mark, there is no trust fund. Ladies and gentlemen, I am explaining how to deal with liberals who are two-faced and conniving and deceitful. They are creating straw men. Now knock them down. And they're the great defenders of Medicare, aren't they? While they strip $500 billion out of the program, right? And all this for whom? To do what? And we've already been told, not by politicians, by trustees of these programs, that they are unsustainable. Deeply, deeply in the red. Unfunded obligations in the trillions of dollars. And what does Obama do? He's come up with a campaign tactic to strip them of more money. And he wants you to think he's doing that on your behalf. So let me ask you a question. You have children or grandchildren? Well, look at them. Think about them. Because they're the ones who are going to pay for all this crap. Right? Oh, I know. Conservatives say we support tax cuts no matter what. I get that. This tax cut doesn't happen to do anything for the economy. Almost nothing. How do we know that? Because it's already been done and it didn't do anything. But I'm talking purely politics here. It's time to box Obama in a corner. He's not that smart. These guys are not that clever. You can't be for Social Security and against it at the same time. You can't claim there's a trust fund and claim there is no trust fund at the same time. You can't claim you support Medicare for everyone for all time and then strip $500 billion out of it to fund Obamacare. So here's how you corner a liberal. Let's pretend his name is Obama. Well, a Marxist. Mr. Obama, do you believe that there's a Social Security Trust Fund? Oh, absolutely. And, we Democrats have been defending that trust fund since Franklin Roosevelt. We set the program up, and the big, rich, billionaire, millionaire Republicans are always trying to change it. They call it reform, but they're trying to destroy it. So he's already dug in. He's already dug his hole. Great. Then why are you trying to raid the fund with these payroll cuts? Oh, well, now, wait a minute. Wait a minute for what? Wait a minute for what? This whole thing has been an illusion from day one when FDR created it. It's been an illusion that the Democrats have used for over 7 decades. And now, on a dime, they turn, they twist, they spin, and they tell us all of a sudden, I'm trying to cut taxes for the middle class by reducing the payroll tax levy. Well, where's that money go? According to them, for the last 7 decades, into the Social Security Trust Fund. Well, then I guess you're stealing money out of the Social Security Trust Fund. So let me even be more specific. Let me crystallize it a little bit further for the slow-thinking liberals out there. Exactly whose Social Security account are you taking this money out of? Whose are you taking the money out of? What are their names? Oh, you don't know? Let me try this one on for you, because I can anticipate your illogic. Mark, this is for future payments. So if Ernie Grabotsky has a lesser payroll deduction, it doesn't affect those on Social Security today, even though we know it does. Let's play along. It only affects his account. Oh, really? So I guess I missed the law where they decided to reduce benefits for people when they reduce their payroll tax. Are they reducing benefits for people when they retire because they're reducing their payroll tax? Answer, no. Well, we got them boxed off on that corner, too. Mr. Boehner, wake the hell up, will you? For once, you need to accuse Obama and Reid and Pelosi and all the rest of them of raiding the Social Security Trust Fund and passing on the expenses to the children and the grandchildren. That's how you beat him at his own game. And you little editorial writers whose names we don't know, some of the conservative blogs and so forth who think this is a swell idea, let me tell you something. You should be fighting like hell for income tax reductions, for capital gains reductions, for corporate income tax reductions, so little businesses can hire people, and to knock off this double corporate tax for businesses overseas that are headquartered in America, who are taxed over there, and if they bring their money here, which we want them to do, they're taxed again. Nobody does that. Only the morons in our government. Most foreign governments don't do that. They want the money to stay there or come back. Not us. Oh, stick it to the rich. Okay, they're not coming back. Here's what I want to try and get across. Folks, when it comes to the issues, we win. When it comes to philosophy, we win. When it comes to principle, we win. We need to embrace it. And then we need to ram it down their throats. Instead of running scared, trying to meet them halfway, always in negotiation mode. Oh, woe is me, what are we going to do? Obama's got us cornered on this populist stuff. No, he doesn't. No, he doesn't. Do you think senior citizens should be subsidizing tax cuts out of the Social Security Trust Fund? I'll be right back.